Caroline sent me this email and asked me to answer some questions, so I thought I'd just go through the questions on the email and get you the answers. So first, what's my name? That's easy. I'm Rob Robles. I run a website called antiqueguns.com, and I specialize in the sale of antique militaria from the 1800s. How old am I? Can I plead the fifth on that one? Do you want to know my chronological age, or do you want to know how young I am in my heart? I'm 56. Where do I live? I live in Woodland Hills, Utah. And if you know where that is, you are a better man than I, because I don't even know where that is. How did I get into this craft? Well, I got into this craft because years ago I had a real job. I sold real estate for a living. And as the tract I was sitting on was running out, I had a choice. I could either go get another tract or find another job. And this was my hobby at the time. I decided to give this a shot, and ever since then, this is what I've been doing. What is your favorite thing about this craft? You know, the best way to explain that is with a little story. A couple of years ago, I went to a friend's antique shop up in Salt Lake City, and he had an antique musket there. And I didn't know much about the musket, but I knew it had some value because I know basic age. And he was asking $1,500 for it, so I paid him the $1,500. Then I came back, photographed it, and put it on my website. Now my website is an auction site, and there's no buy price, so people just bid. And I started at $1 and just prayed that I wasn't going to lose money on it. Well, you know, within a day or so, it was up over $2,000, and I was feeling like a hero. Hey, you know, this is a great deal. Then suddenly it's up to $2,500, then $3,000, and now I'm thinking, hey, I'm making a nice little hit on this gun. About 3 days out, bid suddenly jumps up to $7,500. Now I thought, well, that's got to be a mistake. So I even called the guy and asked him, and I said, you know, I saw your bid at $7,500. Did you really want that? And he said, yeah, go ahead and leave the bid there. It wasn't a mistake. So I didn't think too much of it. But when I went back and looked at my computer, the bid was already up to $9,000. He'd already been outbid. Then almost immediately I get a phone call from another fellow. And he tells me that if I stop the auction right then, he'll pay me $11,000 for the gun. Now, I may not be real smart, but I'm not real stupid. And I knew right away that if he was willing to do that, I might really have a gun that's valuable here. So I told him, sorry, but the rules on my side, I have to respect the integrity of the auctions, and I had to let the gun run out. And sure enough, the auction was ending on a Friday night. And during the time, my son was playing a basketball game in his high school. So by this time, the bid's up to about $12,000, $13,000. And I go off to the game, and I have the internet on my phone. So I look about an hour before the auction to end, and the bid's up to $15,000. I tell my wife, look, the bid's up to $15,000. I can't believe this. I check later, it's up to $18,000, $19,000, $20,000. I'm more interested in what's on my phone than I am my son's basketball game. Well, by the time the game was over, the auction had ended, and the bid ended at just under $25,000. So what do I like about this business? That's what I like about this business. What is my least favorite thing about this business? My least favorite thing is that sort of thing doesn't happen to me every day. But it happens enough that it really keeps my heart beating. My general area of expertise in this business are firearms from the 1700s through the 1800s. Because of the nature of the business that I own, I'm more of a generalist. I have a very wide general knowledge of that whole era. There are many experts in this field that have far better knowledge in one particular area, but I have a good amount of knowledge in a wide field. And it's an incredibly wide field to know. I mean, I literally, whenever I travel, I take a book with me. I'm always reading books about this, and I've got hundreds of books on this subject, and I still, know a smidgen of what there is to know in the antique firearms field. And that's about it. It looked like I ran through her list, so hopefully I answered your questions, and if not, well, that's all you're going to get.